friends, how are you? We have already discussed about the poem for the 5-year-old in the last video. Have you gone through it? Well, now let us recall what we have discussed in the last video. Before moving on, I want you to answer some questions. First question is, who has written this poem? Yes, it is Fleur Adcock who has written this poem. Second question, who is the speaker in this poem? The speaker is the mother. Next question, what is the another character mentioned in the poem? Another character mentioned in the poem is the child. What is the situation described in the poem? The situation described in the poem is a snail is coming through the windowsill to the room of the child. Can you answer this question also? What suggestion did the mother give to her child? The mother gave suggestion to her child to save the snail by carrying it outside with careful hands and keep on daffodil flower so that it can eat it. What was the main intention of the mother? The main intention of mother was to teach the child to save silly creatures too. Good. You have recalled the first stanza of the poem. Now, let us discuss the second stanza of this poem. Before going to the poem, let us do one listening activity. Now, I play an audio clip. Listen it carefully and answer the questions that I will ask after this audio. Now it is the time for listening audio.
It was a bird of paradise, over the roofs he flew. It was a bird of paradise, over the roofs he flew. All the children in a trice, clapped their hands and cried, "How nice!" All the children in a trice clapped their hands and cried, "How nice!" Look, his wings are blue. His body was of ruby red. Look, his wings are blue. His body was of ruby red. His eyes were burning gold. His eyes were burning gold. All the grown-up people said, "What a pity creature is not dead, for then it could be sold." All the grown-up people said, "What a pity creature is not dead, for then it could be sold."
Well, you have listened the audio. Now let us recall what we have listened. Where did the bird come from? The bird came from the paradise. Where did the bird fly? The bird flew over the roofs of the houses. What did the children do when they see the bird? The children clapped their hands thrice and cried, "How nice!" What was the color of the bird's wings? The color of bird's wings was blue. What was the color of body of the bird? The color of body of the bird was ruby red. How was the eyes of the bird? The eyes of the bird was burning red. What was the view of grown-up people on the bird? The grown-up people said that the pity creature is still not dead, so that they can sell the dead bird. Good. You have tried your level best. Now, let us go for the second stanza of the poem for a 5-year-old by Fleur Adcock. Now, I am going to read the poem. Listen carefully. I see then that a kind of faith prevails. I see then that a kind of faith prevails. Your gentleness is molded still by words. Your gentleness is molded still by words. From me who have trapped mice and shot wild birds, from me who have trapped mice and shot wild birds, from me who drowned your kittens, who betrayed your closest relatives. From me, who drowned your kittens, who betrayed your closest relatives, and who purveyed the harshest kind of truth to many another, and who purveyed the harshest kind of truth to many another, but that is how things are. But that is how things are. I am your mother. Do you find any new words in this stanza? Of course, you may. As we know, these are the glossary words which we have discussed in the last video. Now let us try to understand some of the glossary words. A kind of faith prevails. Note this. A kind of faith prevails. What it means? It is commonly believed that character is built rather by words of advice than by imitation of what others actually do. Of course, this is not true. It is only a prevailing belief not based on truth. Universal. What is universal? Can you make a sentence? Let us understand this glossary with our own sentences. I admire the creativity which prevailed among the young writers. Your inner strength will enable you to prevail over life's obstacles. They wasted 2 penalties but still prevailed. What is still? Still means even now. Can we make some sentences? We still remember Mahatma Gandhi. His bike is still in working condition. I still haven't finished painting the room. We still do not know exactly what happened. What is purveyed? Purveyed means carried on or delivered. Richard has 2 restaurants that purvey good food. Germany is introducing criminal penalties for social media companies that purvey fake news. The delivery boy purveyed the food in time. Now it is time to understand the poem. As we discussed in the first stanza, we can see different types of attitudes in human beings. Generally we preach something to the others and we don't follow it. Here also the mother recalls her olden days. There is a faith in all over the attitude is developed by preach itself rather than practice. The gentleness is molded by the word of preaching. This is the prevailed faith all over, but this is not true. Behavior of one person is affected by what we are doing and what the other is observing. That is why the behavior of a child is inspired or affected by elders' attitudes, because the child observes everything and develops its own attitude. Mother says a kind of faith prevails that the gentleness of a child is molded by words, but it is little bit different than what we think. The mother, when she was a child, she had trapped mice, she had shot wild animals, also she had drowned kittens. She betrayed her close relatives and prevailed harsh kind words to many others. It looks like she was quarrelsome in her childhood. This was her attitude when she was a child. But after becoming a mother, she realizes what she had done in the childhood and she guides her child what to do. The line, I am your mother, indicates her realization and maturity. She tells that she is child's mother and both are to be kind to slaves. She compares her childhood and her child's childhood. What she had done in earlier is not correct, and what her child should not do and what her child should do. Thus, she guides her child in her own way. Dear students, You have finished this poem. Now let us check the understanding of the poem. Here are some comprehension questions. Let us try to answer. Why does the mother say a kind of faith prevails? The mother says a kind of faith prevails because earlier she believed that the attitudes are developed through preaching, but actually it is by practice. Second question. How has the mother treated other animals? The mother has treated other animals cruelly. Do you observe any difference between the mother's treatment of the snail and her treatment of other animals and her closest relatives in her childhood? Yes. The mother now showing mercy to the snail, but in her childhood she caught the mice and shot the wild birds. She drowned the kittens and cheated her closest relatives. How does the mother console herself? The mother tells her child to be kind to the snail and also show mercy to all animals around us. Thus she consoles herself. Dear students, here are home assignments. Go through the poem once or twice and try to answer these questions. What are the activities did mother do in her childhood? List out the activities which you have done when you are in the age of 5. Do you think the mother guided her child in a proper way? Justify your views. My dear students, with this I would like to conclude the whole poem. How did you feel? I think you have enjoyed the poem. Thank you.